B.S.I. and the B.S.C.F.A. have been unable to reach a compromise in the signing of a new cane purchase agreement. It has been 1 month since the parties sat down at the negotiation table, and a month before the 2014-2015 crop season should get underway. With no agreement in sight, B.S.I. has made the unprecedented move of cutting out the middleman, so to speak, and approaching the farmers directly.
We do not foresee any prospect in the near future of being able to secure an agreement with the B.S.C.F.A. on behalf of all sugarcane farmers. B.S.I. will now move ahead with alternative options to secure agreement for the supply of sugarcane to B.S.I. effective the 2014-15 crop, with those farmers and associations that desire to start the crop on time. We are compelled to pursue these options in the fundamental interests of the industry, including cane farmers, as an integral party.
There are approximately 5,500 cane farmers in the north, broken down into 18 associations and 370 reaping groups. B.S.I. has already looked at all the figures and has determined this to be the only viable way forward, since they claim that it is obvious the B.S.C.F.A. does not intend to sign on to the agreement.
We have spent a considerable amount of time in the last 6 to 8 months travelling around and talking to cane farmers. We've had a lot of opportunities now to really hear and to listen to what cane farmers are saying to us, and it has come, to our attention that the overriding concern cane farmers have is that there should be a home for their cane, and that this crop should not be interrupted as the last crop was. That had major consequences for cane farmers and for the industry as a whole. We've tried very hard to come to an agreement in order to move the crop forward, but we are here, as the statement said, less than a month away from the opening of the crop, and it's essential at this time that we start to coordinate that crop, because we cannot afford to have another late start.
Any late start would mean that sugarcane would be left in the fields, unable to reach the mill in the window of opportunity presented. Any party, individual or group, would be required to sign on to a new agreement with B.S.I. That new agreement, to sweeten the deal a little, includes the payment for bagasse at the quantum decided by B.S.I.
The agreement which is being offered is better than the one before. One of the difficulties, as a matter of fact, a grave difficulty of the former agreement is that it was not complete. And that gave rise to issues of difference between the parties. This agreement is more complete. And furthermore, it includes an economic factor that is better for the farmers when you look at this agreement than what was there before.
The offer will remain open until November 28th because the mill will need to know exactly how much cane to expect. An acceptable figure in terms of viability would be in the region of 6,000 tons delivered per day. Anything less than that would not do. The move smells curiously and strongly of B.S.C.F.A. busting, cutting out the association completely. But the factory reps say no way.
That's completely incorrect. I mean, we have and continue to have a dialogue with the B.S.C.F.A. We want to continue to have that dialogue, to continue to talk to the B.S.C.F.A. leadership. But you have to remember that, all these cane farmers are effectively members of the B.S.C.F.A. They all have a voice. I think all we're doing by offering to settle independently with cane farmers is just giving them that voice. It's our perception that from dealing with a lot of different or talking to a lot of different cane farmers in the field, as we have been, that many of them want to have that choice. And I think that, that's exactly what we've decided to give them in this sense. We're not precluding any other outcomes to this. We'll continue to talk to the B.S.C.F.A. And we hope that in the end that every cane farmer will be able to deliver their cane. That's what we would like to see.
It's not about TV, news, dramatics, castigations, history, and this kind of thing. It's about money. That's what we're dealing with here. And that is what has to inform the operation of the sugar industry. So it is only after these deep, difficult negotiations that we reach the point where the B.S.C.F.A. has its position, B.S.I has its position, and there could be no meeting between the two. Are we going to allow that to stop the commencement of the crop? No. So the idea that this is some attempt to break the backs, as you put it, back of the B.S.C.F.A. is not the case. In fact, the same agreement would be happy for the B.S.C.F.A. to sign.
It may seem a little far-fetched to think that the factory would get 100% cooperation from farmers, which it basically needs in order to make milling financially viable. But the men at the head table today say they would be surprised if they don't get the full support of cane farmers. Mike Rodon for News 5.